Chapter 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As Elderly finished speaking, Changfeng and the square underwent some changes. A path of light was seen extending from the gate of Changfeng mountain to the feet of everyone in the square. This is the road of refining the mind. Stepping into it will test your spirit and character. Go forward and climb the mountain gate, and you will pass the second level. Elderly did not say much nonsense and announced the start of the second level. Changfeng took a step forward and then felt a trance. All the people around him disappeared. It seems that this road of refining the mind is a space of its own. Everyone will face different things. Changfeng thought to himself, the tester's cultivation level is detected, the peak of the first-class acquired realm, the road of refining the mind begins. This road of refining the mind is a part of the extended protection formation. After the tester enters, the cultivation level will be automatically detected and a mental pressure of more than one major realm will be given. Under this mental pressure, you have to face the illusions on the road of refining the mind and endure the test of 7 emotions and 6 desires. I don't know how many little guys can persist this time. This level can eliminate most people. The 3 great men discussed it. Okay, everyone has entered, and it's time for us to work. Lu Changqing said. After speaking, he moved his fingers, and a light curtain appeared in front of the 3 people. The light curtain showed the real-time situation of all the testers on the road of refining the mind. See which little guys need to increase their mental pressure. After all, some geniuses are born with strong mental power, or have practiced spiritual secrets. The mental pressure across a major realm cannot reach their limit. If the limit cannot be reached, the power of the illusion will be greatly reduced, and it will not play the role of testing the mind. After Lu Changqing said this, he looked at the light screen with Elderly and Protector Wang. Soon, those who were troubled by the mental pressure as soon as they entered the refining heart road were screened out. Only hundreds of pictures were left on the light screen. These examinees were quite relaxed and did not feel too much pressure when facing the pressure that exceeded their own realm. Let's increase the intensity, little guys. Protector Wang laughed, and then connected the sect protection formation to increase the mental pressure on the refining heart road. After Changfeng entered the refining heart road, he felt a wave of mental pressure coming, as if a spring breeze was blowing on his face. That's it. Changfeng was stunned, estimating that this mental power was only at the peak of the Xiantian realm. Changfeng did not hesitate too much and strode forward. Elderly was a little surprised when he saw Changfeng's picture. Judging from his attire, he was an aboriginal near Huangting sect. Among the mortal aboriginals, there has been no genius with such mental power for many years. Elderly had a natural liking for Changfeng. After all, he was a native of his own country. Let me add some ingredients to you, kid, you can hold on. Elderly's mind moved, and he raised Changfeng's pressure on the road of refining his mind to the early stage of the Grandmaster. The mental pressure has increased. Changfeng was walking forward, and suddenly felt that the mental pressure suddenly increased. He frowned slightly, but didn't care. It was just from spring breeze to autumn breeze, there was no big difference. Elderly was shocked when he saw this scene. This kid's mental power is so strong. Elderly continued to increase the mental pressure. Grandmaster mid-stage, Grandmaster late stage, Grandmaster perfect, Grandmaster early stage. Feeling the increasing spiritual pressure on the road to refinement, Changfeng became interested. Elderly was already a little numb. Could this road to refinement be broken? But seeing the others struggling in the light curtain, Elderly denied this idea. Changfeng, whose spiritual realm has reached the level of seeing the gods and not being broken, and who has comprehended the meaning of crushing fists, has a spiritual power that is not much in quantity, but its essence has already reached an extremely high level. Just like no matter how much water flows, it can't break a steel needle. The current spiritual pressure on the road to refinement is like a drizzle to Changfeng. Elderly, what's going on here? Lu Changqing asked curiously when he saw Elderly's expression. Elderly told Master Lu Feng about Changfeng's performance. When Lu Changqing heard this, he couldn't help but look at Changfeng's light curtain. As expected, he saw a young man strolling on the road of refining his mind. Ignoring the mental pressure, those illusions that tested his mind had no effect on him at all. Keep increasing it and see what the limit of this kid is. Lu Changqing ordered. Elderly nodded and continued to increase the mental pressure. Grandmaster mid-stage, Grandmaster late stage, Grandmaster Perfect. Gradually, Changfeng felt the pressure force, and it was getting heavier and heavier. His feet seemed to be filled with lead, and his back felt like 2 mountains were pressing down on him. Do you want to add more? Elderly asked. Try to increase it to the early stage of the heavenly man. Lu Changqing looked at Changfeng's performance in the light curtain, gritted his teeth, and said. Elderly looked a little hesitant, but still increased the mental pressure to the early stage of the heavenly man. Changfeng, who was on the road of refining his mind, suddenly felt the pressure coming like a tsunami, making him slightly dazed. Gritting his teeth, he struggled to move forward. Suddenly, an illusion was triggered, and the power of the formation in the illusion took advantage of the opportunity to enter, dragging Changfeng's mind into the illusion. It should be okay, he is about to reach his limit. Lu Changqing said. It's incredible. A young man in the acquired realm can actually withstand the mental pressure of the heavenly realm. Did he start to cultivate his mental power in his mother's womb? Looking at the record of the first level, this kid is still a congenital body. Not bad, the future is promising. Even if he can't pass the second level of the heart refining road, I think there are many old guys willing to accept him as a disciple. The 3 people talked. Changfeng in the illusion seemed to have entered a dream. In the haze, he seemed to see his adoptive father, the villagers of Qingyo town, and some relatives and friends in his previous life. He also seemed to see himself failing the assessment, returning to Qingyo town, and spending his life in mediocrity. At this time, a gleam of light flashed in Changfeng's eyes, and his consciousness instantly recovered. How could I, who has mastered the meaning of the shattering fist, be trapped by a mere illusion? In this life, I don't care about my past life, I don't seek reincarnation, I only want to be the master of this life. Climb higher mountains, enjoy endless scenery, and I will break all obstacles in the way with one punch. Instantly, the illusion was shattered, and Changfeng continued to move forward with difficulty. How is this possible? Lu Changqing was shocked. Breaking through the illusion so quickly was really beyond his expectations. Good. What a good seedling for cultivation. Although he didn't know why Changfeng was so fierce, Lu Changqing still transmitted Changfeng's performance information and photos to the sect protection formation. Some old guys will be restless now. Lu Changqing thought to himself. Chapter 12. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Changfeng was struggling on the road of refining the mind, bearing a huge mental pressure. He himself didn't know what level this mental pressure was. There was only one thought in his mind, that is, to move forward, and forward again. The illusions on the road of refining the mind were broken one by one, and Changfeng's mental power was constantly being consumed. Indistinctly, he saw the mountain gate in front of him, but he couldn't get there. In his perception, time seemed to be distorted. It might have been a long time, or it might have been just a moment. Suddenly, Changfeng took a step forward, and felt his whole body lighten, and all the mental pressure dissipated. Looking around, he found that he had arrived in front of the Huangting sect's mountain gate. There were 3 unfathomable powers standing in front of him, presumably the examiners of this entrance examination. Seeing the 3 people in front of him, Changfeng felt his heart tighten, and his ability to avoid danger was frantically sending him signals. This is a huge difference in the level of life. Just like when an ant faces a dragon, it will involuntarily feel fear. In just a breath, Changfeng adjusted himself, bowed to the 3 people, and walked to the side to stand. Boy, it's great. Under the spiritual pressure of the heavenly realm, you can be the first to pass the road of refining the mind. The 3 looked at Changfeng, and the black-robed old man on the right said with a smile. When Changfeng heard the voice, he knew it was the person who announced the rules during the assessment just now. Senior, you are too kind. I am just lucky. This road of refining the mind is really terrifying. I almost failed to pass it. Changfeng said respectfully. You are still pretending. You can withstand the pressure of the heavenly realm. Your spiritual realm is also top among the masters. According to your information, you are only 16 years old. You are really a freak. The young man on the left said. Okay, don't scare the juniors. Boy, I am Lu Changqing, the chief examiner of this entrance examination, and I am the master of Tianjiao Peak. These 2 are Elder Li and Protector Wang, and they are also examiners of this examination. The middle-aged man in the middle said to Changfeng, with a smile on his face, "Hello, Master Lu, elderly, and Protector Wan." Changfeng hurriedly greeted them, "Chi boy, don't be so reserved. After joining Huangting's sect, we will be family members. Why are you being polite?" Elderly smiled. "Changfeng, after the third level, you will accept disciples. With your qualifications, there will definitely be many powerful people willing to accept you as a disciple. Be mentally prepared and choose a good teacher at that time." After Lu Changqing finished speaking, he threw a jade slip to Changfeng. This jade slip contains some basic information about the various peaks of Huangting's sect. You can learn about it in advance so that you have a bottom line in your heart. Changfeng was overjoyed and thanked him repeatedly. This jade slip was not worth mentioning to Lu Changqing. He gave it to Changfeng just to establish a good relationship. At this time, some people passed the refining heart road and arrived in front of the mountain gate. Looking at the three great powers in front of them, everyone did not dare to say much. They all stood aside after paying their respects. About 2 hours later, Lu Changqing suddenly stretched out his hand and the refining heart road disappeared. "Okay, the second level of the assessment is over. Congratulations to everyone for passing the second level. You are only one step away from joining the Huangting sect. However, this is just the beginning of the road of cultivation." Looking around, Changfeng found that there were only 300 or 400 people present. When entering the refining heart road, there were as many as 300,000 people entering, and the passing rate of this refining heart road was only about 1,000. The path of cultivation is long. What Huangting sect needs is not a large number of low-level cultivators, but fellow Taoists who can support each other in the future. It is difficult to achieve great power without great perseverance, great wisdom, and great luck. Huangting sect can give you great luck, and great wisdom can be obtained through continuous learning. Only perseverance and character are the most difficult to obtain. Before joining Huangting sect, you can pass the path of refining the mind. You are all qualified in character and have a tenacious heart for the Tao. The third level is the battle strength assessment level. Don't worry, there is no danger to your life. Even if you perform poorly, you can enter the outer gate of our sect. Lu Changqing said, then he took out a seed-like treasure and threw it into the air, emitting a faint green light. Suddenly, all the examinees present felt comfortable all over, and the mental power consumed on the path of refining the mind was also rapidly restored. "I will give you 1 hour to adjust. After 1 hour, the third level assessment will begin." After that, the three disappeared. After hearing this, everyone was delighted. No matter what, they were able to join the Huangting sect, and the big stone in their hearts fell. After the three examiners left, the crowd gradually became active and everyone began to talk in low voices. "Brother Qi, it's really fate. I didn't expect we can really meet in Huangting sect." Changfeng looked back and saw that it was Murong Qing, Brother Murong. Changfeng was very surprised. He didn't expect that Murong Qing also passed the heart-refining road and could join Huangting sect. "I have long seen that Brother Qi is extraordinary. I heard from them that Brother Qi is the first to pass the heart-refining road. He is really extraordinary. Lucky, I was almost eliminated by the mental pressure." At this time, some people came forward, greeted Changfeng, and talked with him. Everyone's age was not much different, and their cultivation was similar. All of them were in the first-class acquired or innate realm. Changfeng also met the 7th prince of the Haomiao dynasty, Tianyun, who he had heard of in the tavern at that time. He was an 18-year-old innate master with good mental strength and some qi refining stage cultivation. Tianyun was also very polite to Changfeng, and everyone got to know each other and had a good time. There was no second-generation ancestor plot that was often seen in novels in the previous life. It seems that novels are all lies. Changfeng complained in his heart, but think about it, how could there be such trash among those who can pass the heart-refining road? Everyone is devoted to the Tao, unless there is a grudge that blocks the Tao, who would make enemies everywhere for no reason. After a while, under the green light of the treasure, everyone's mental power was basically restored, so they stopped talking, closed their eyes and adjusted their breathing, preparing for the third-level assessment, Changfeng also found a corner, with his 5 hearts facing the sky, and his mental power probed into the jade slip given by Lu Changqing, and read the jade slip. Information: in addition to the main hall where the sect master is located and the holy place where the supreme elders are in seclusion, Huangting sect also has 108 main peaks, and the peak masters are all powerful people above the fusion realm. Under the peak masters, there are many elders and guardians in the fusion realm. The jade slip roughly introduces the basic information and main cultivation directions of the peak masters of each peak and some more famous elders and guardians. Not long after, Changfeng understood everything. Among them, there are several peak masters who mainly practice boxing, which is more to his liking. I wonder if these peak masters will accept disciples. Changfeng thought to himself. Chapter 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. While Changfeng and others were talking, the results of the first 2 levels of this entrance examination had been transmitted to the sect master, the heads of each peak, the elders, and the guardians through the sect protection formation. Because of the speculation of Tianji Peak, this entrance examination was highly valued by Huangting sect, and many peak masters were paying attention to this matter. At Tianjiao Peak of Huangting sect, an old man in white was fishing in the sea of clouds. And suddenly his mind moved. A 16-year-old innate body, the acquired realm can withstand the mental pressure of the heavenly realm. Not bad, not bad. Could this person be the peerless genius speculated by Tianji Peak? Not necessarily. After all, the combat power test has not yet been carried out, and there may be other geniuses hidden. After receiving the information from the sect protection formation, the old man in white was a little moved. This person is Li Chunyang, the head of Tianjiao Peak, who has the peak cultivation of the tribulation period and is the contemporary Tianjiao of Huangting sect. I don't know where those 2 useless disciples have gone. They don't practice swords every day. I don't think they can inherit my name of Tianjiao. It's better to accept another disciple. Li Chunyang thought. When the 3rd level starts, I will go and take a look. If there is a good seedling, I will accept another disciple. Li Chunyang made up his mind. At the same time, on the 5 Elements Peak, a strong man was drinking with an old Taoist in a red robe. The 3rd level entrance examination is about to start. Do you want to take a look? I heard that many good seedlings have emerged in this examination, and there may be peerless geniuses. The red-robed old Taoist said. Why, old man Liehua, you want to accept disciples again? I'm not saying anything bad about you. You have accepted so many disciples, but I don't think any of them have become great. Your vision is not good. The strong man looked down on him. Changfeng, what's wrong with my disciples? Besides, if I accept a few more disciples, who knows when someone will appear who can surpass you and me? The strong man named Changfeng was a little speechless. Well, I'll go with you to have a look. That's right, maybe you have someone you like and you've accepted a disciple. It's impossible to accept a disciple. It's too troublesome to teach a disciple, and there's no one person who can be good. Changfeng curled his lips and took a sip of wine. In a blink of an eye, an hour passed, and the 3rd level of the assessment was about to begin. Lu Changqing appeared again with Elder Li and the guardian Wang. He took out a token in his hand, injected mana, and said loudly. According to the order of the sect master, please go to the Star Tower. As soon as the voice fell, a towering 9-story tower appeared above the mountain gate. As soon as it appeared, it went straight into the sky, and the top of the tower could not be seen at a glance. The tower body was a square cone, very similar to some towers that Changfeng had seen in his previous life. At the same time, around this towering 9-story tower, there seemed to be endless nebula vortexes surrounding it. The colorful nebula vortex made people unable to help but indulge in it. The examinees below had never seen such a treasure before, and they were stunned. The appearance of the Star Tower meant that the 3rd level was about to begin, and the peak masters and elders who were interested in accepting disciples rushed to the mountain gate. After greeting each other, they stood beside the 3 examiners, more than 30 people in total. Changfeng and other examiners were very excited. These were all top talents and high-level officials of the Huangting sect. If they could be accepted as disciples by them, they would really soar to the sky. This tower is called the Star Tower, and it is the most precious treasure of our Huangting sect. There is an independent space inside, and this combat power assessment will be conducted in the internal space of the Star Tower. You cannot use elixirs, and you cannot use weapons or magic weapons that exceed your own level. After entering the Star Tower, you will be divided into independent spaces. According to each person's cultivation, enemies with the same cultivation as yourself will appear in the Star Tower. After defeating the enemy, you can challenge enemies of a higher level until you reach the limit of your own combat power. The Star Tower will teleport you out before you are defeated and die. So, don't be afraid, bravely exert your combat power. Those who perform well will be accepted as disciples by the elders of the major peaks behind me, and those who perform poorly can also enter the outer gate to practice. The third level assessment officially begins. As soon as Lu Changqing finished speaking, a force came from the bottom of the Star Tower, sucking all the assessors into the tower. At the same time, the powerful people who came to watch the battle also connected to the Guardian formation and projected the real-time performance of the assessors in the Star Tower. As soon as Changfeng entered the Star Tower, a man in black appeared in the distance and rushed towards him without saying a word. Not daring to neglect, Changfeng swung his fist forward and blasted the man in black into pieces from a distance. At this time, many powerful people were watching Changfeng. Seeing this scene, an old Taoist in purple robe said, "What a condensed true qi, it seems that the power is no less than that of the top innate realm. He is really a genius. Coupled with his abnormal mental power, it is just right. Can inherit the old Taoist's legacy, can fellow Taoists bear the pain and let the old Taoist accept this disciple? Old Taoist Chao, you have a good plan. Although this kid has abnormal mental power and is more suitable for your Tianjin Peak skills, who can't see that he is on the path of breaking all methods with one force? And this is only the first enemy. Why are you in a hurry? Are you afraid that he is a peerless genius and want to take advantage of it in advance?" Li Chunyang, the head of Tianjiao Peak, said with a sneer, "You." The old Taoist in purple robes could not refute and could only give up. At this time, in the Star Tower, a new black-clothed man rushed towards Changfeng. Judging from his aura, he was a master at the peak of the innate realm, holding a long sword. A sword energy came and Changfeng did not dodge or evade. The sword energy slashed towards his neck. There was only a sound of metal clashing, and the sword energy only left a white mark on his neck. Without even breaking his defense, the man in black probably didn't expect this situation and was stunned. Changfeng would never miss this opportunity. He came close and punched him in the chest. In an instant, the man in black was beaten to pieces with his sword. Is he a monster? He has such a strong body at the peak of the acquired realm, and there is no sign that he has practiced any bodybuilding exercises. I haven't heard that the innate body can also strengthen the body. Such a pervert has appeared in the mortal villages near our Huangting sect. The powerful people were a little uneasy. This kid has such a physical talent, and he is also on the path of breaking all laws with one force. He is very suitable for Fulong Peak. Why don't I accept him as a disciple?" At this time, a bald powerful person said, "You bald man, you have a good idea. He is also very suitable for my Tiangang Peak. Why should I give it to you?" The head of Tiangang Peak said, "Okay, stop arguing. According to convention, when we can't reach a consensus, we will wait until the assessment is over and let the kid choose by himself. Let's talk about it when he comes out." A white-haired old man made a round. The powerful people looked at each other and felt that no one was willing to give in, so they all agreed to this proposal. At this time, 5 figures of black-clothed men appeared in the Star Tower at the same time. Each of them was at the peak of the innate. As soon as they appeared, they mobilized the power of heaven and earth to attack. Facing the power of heaven and earth, Changfeng felt the danger and avoided it and sent out a warning. He didn't dare to take it head-on. He mobilized the blood and qi in his body and went up to meet it. Chapter 14. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A master of the Xiantian realm can initially mobilize the power of heaven and earth to greatly increase the power of each of his attacks. Faced with the attack of 5 people, Changfeng did not panic. Hundreds of years of combat experience in the simulated world allowed him to deal with any situation calmly, stirring up the blood and qi in his body. Changfeng did not choose to release the true qi, but condensed it on his fists and blasted the 5 people at close range, with the sound of a wild bull in each punch. With rich combat experience and the ability to avoid danger, Changfeng became more and more courageous, and gradually gained the upper hand, suppressing the 5 people with the wild bull fist that he had practiced to the pinnacle. Most of the attacks of the 5 men in black were dodged by Changfeng. If he couldn't avoid them, he would use boxing to forcibly disperse them, and the aftermath would not cause any damage to the flesh. With the blessing of the talent of a master of fighting, Changfeng was eager to fight, looking for opportunities, ready to kill with one blow. It's right here. Changfeng noticed the flaw of one of the men in black, and with his hands, he used the attack of the man in black beside him to repel the attack behind him. With a gleam in his eyes, his left fist hit a man in black who was accumulating power not far away. Caught off guard, the man in black was hit directly in the chest and turned into fragments and disappeared. With one person missing, the remaining 4 men in black were no match for Changfeng, and he solved them all in a short while. The powerful people watching the battle felt deeply incredible. Did the talent bead detect it wrong? This kid is a fighting saint. 5 people surrounded him, but he played with them in his hands. Although the enemies transformed by the Star Tower are a bit dull, this should not be the performance of a 16-year-old boy. Yes, looking at his boxing skills, he has reached the pinnacle. Although the level of boxing skills is not high, it is impossible to achieve such proficiency if he has been practicing boxing since the womb. It seems that this kid has a high talent for boxing. Changfeng's performance really shocked these powerful people. Facing the attack of 5 innate peak masters mobilizing the power of heaven and earth, he was calm and responded freely, looking for opportunities, and killing with one blow. It was simply a textbook battle. The pinnacle of the barbarian bull boxing showed his abnormal talent for practicing skills. Changfeng was a little tempted. This kid was very much to his taste, but thinking of what he said to Liehua Laodao before coming, Changfeng still endured it. I am the master of Tianquan Peak, don't you have any face? If I show my willingness to accept a disciple, I will be laughed at by old man Liehua afterwards. Changfeng thought, but I think this kid should have reached his limit. The next enemy should be at the Grandmaster level. Judging from his current performance, although he has a strong body, strong blood, and solid true qi, he should not be a Grandmaster's opponent. A great man said, and others also agreed, Qi Kid's main advantage is his abnormal mental power, but it seems that he has no means to truly exert the power of mental power. If I teach him, he will surely make rapid progress. Tianjin Peak Master Chao Laodao said, Chao, you come again, didn't we agree that he would let him choose after the assessment? Do you want to fight with me? The other great men condemned. Chao Laodao was frustrated and a little helpless. He really wanted to accept Changfeng as his disciple. With such a perverted mental talent, he would be able to achieve great things by following the Tianjin Peak's method of cultivating the mind. In the Star Tower, some examinees gradually lost and were teleported out. After defeating the 5 peak innate black-clothed men, a purple aura appeared in the Star Tower where Changfeng was, and sank into his body, rapidly restoring the true energy and mental power he had just consumed in the fight against the enemy. This is a default benefit of the assessment, which allows the examinee to recover to their peak before each battle. The novel was taken from the Rawlers website. Close where you're reading it and support us on our website for more free novels. At this time, a man in red appeared not far from Changfeng, and his aura had reached the early stage of the Grandmaster level. Grandmaster masters have stronger bodies and true energy, and can control the power of heaven and earth as easily as their arms and fingers, and can control the power of heaven and earth to fly. The top masters in the Grandmaster level can comprehend the power of artistic conception and greatly improve their combat power. This kind of Grandmaster who comprehends the artistic conception is generally not far from the Grandmaster level, and can suppress ordinary Grandmasters with a flip of the hand. Those who practice swordsmanship comprehend the sword meaning. Those who practice swordsmanship comprehend the sword meaning. Those who practice boxing comprehend the boxing meaning. Those who can comprehend artistic conception are basically masters who have been comprehending this Tao for many years and have seen the mind and nature. Obviously, the master-level enemy that Changfeng faced did not have the power of artistic conception. It's over. A powerful man said. The man in red flew towards Changfeng quickly, and the power of heaven and earth and the blood in his body brought a strong sense of oppression. The power of the master is not something that Changfeng's body and true Qi can resist. If you want to reach the acquired realm to contend with a master, only those with legendary physiques, such as the fighting saint body, the ancient saint body, the innate Tao body, the dragon and phoenix body, etc., can do it. At this time, Changfeng's eyes changed, his robes moved without wind, and a strong fist in tension enveloped his body. Break it for me. He took a half step forward and punched out, and his true energy fused with the fist in tension like a steamroller to crush the man in red. In an instant, the man in red turned into powder and dissipated in the star tower. Crushed the fist in tension. The eyes of the powerful people watching the battle almost popped out, and some even cursed. The acquired realm comprehended the fist in tension. This kind of thing that has never been heard of in ancient and modern times, happened in front of them. This is the fist in tension. Most masters can't comprehend it, but a 16-year-old boy actually comprehended it, and judging from the posture, he is quite skilled in using it. Could this kid be the reincarnation of a celestial being, practicing again with his memories? A powerful person wondered. Impossible, he is a native of our Huangting sect's protective formation. If a powerful person reincarnates and practices again, he will definitely not be able to hide it from the protective formation. I checked the aura he left on the protective formation and confirmed that he is a 16-year-old native boy. Lu Changqing retorted, it seems that the peerless genius deduced by Tianji Peak is this kid. If it is a reincarnation of a powerful person from the upper realm, Tianji Peak cannot deduce it either. The eyes of the powerful people gradually became hot. This kind of peerless genius is hard to come by. Unlike the peerless genius who fights across two realms with legendary physique, Changfeng, who becomes a peerless genius by his own understanding, is even more precious. Physique can only provide you with assistance in battle. When you practice to a high level and face bottlenecks, only your own character and perception can make you go further and step into a new world. Qin Feng's heart was burning. I, Tianquan Peak, mainly practice boxing, which is the same as this kid's. It seems that I have a great chance. The peerless genius who comprehended the meaning of boxing at the age of 16 will definitely be able to inherit my mantle. Train him well, and then I will hand over the stall of Tianquan Peak to him. I can continue to be free and easy. Who dares to say that I, Qin Feng, don't accept disciples? Oh, I, Qin Feng, have practiced for thousands of years and have never accepted disciples. Could it be that the first disciple is a peerless genius? Qin Feng thought happily. As for what I said to old man Liehua before coming here, I had long forgotten it. What did you say? Old man Liehua would only be jealous that I have a good disciple. Chapter 15. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The surprised expressions of the great powers attracted the attention of the examinees who had been eliminated from the Star Tower. Although they could not see Changfeng's performance on the light screen, they could vaguely guess from the conversations of the great powers that a peerless genius appeared in this assessment, and it was most likely Changfeng. The crowd was like a pot of boiling water, and everyone was talking about it. Wang Hufa had to stand up to maintain order, and everyone calmed down. In the Star Tower, in the space where Changfeng was, another man in red appeared. As soon as he appeared, he locked him with sword intent. Suddenly, Changfeng felt his hair stand on end, and a strong sense of crisis enveloped him, a master who has comprehended the sword intent. Changfeng suddenly felt bad. Although his own fist intent was no less than the opponent's sword intent, the strength of his physical body and true Qi was much worse. Once the opponent integrated the sword intent into his moves, he would definitely be unable to match his edge. Changfeng's mind was working quickly, thinking about how to defeat the enemy. What you fear will come to you. A blood-red long sword appeared in the hand of the red-clothed man, and he stabbed Changfeng. A huge sword energy fused with sword intent quickly attacked him. Rock breathing, open. Changfeng silently said in his heart, rock breathing, after opening, can greatly increase the user's strength. blood and physical strength, but it requires a lot of physical strength. Changfeng's blood and qi surged all over his body, his muscles bulged slightly, and he gathered fist intent in his fists and smashed forward suddenly. With a bang, the sword energy scattered, and Changfeng took 2 steps back, only to feel numbness in his arms. No, after opening rock breathing, I can barely take the opponent's attack. This is not a long-term plan. With such high-intensity consumption, I can't hold on for too long. I must find a way to fight quickly. Having made up his mind, Changfeng rushed forward. The red-clothed man did not dare to be careless and focused on responding. Facing Changfeng's crushing fist intent, he dodged repeatedly. It seems that the opponent is a fragile skin. Changfeng thought to himself, and had a plan in mind. Changfeng held the red-clothed man's long sword with one fist, and suddenly rushed to his chest. The red-clothed man did not expect Changfeng to do this, and was caught off guard and stuck to him. Changfeng hugged the red-clothed man tightly with his arms, and his fist intent surged, ready to crush him into powder. The red-clothed man did not care so much, and tried his best to resist with sword intent. Unfortunately, his sword intent was the sword intent of water, which was more than flexible, and in terms of lethality, it was far less than the crushing fist intent. The indestructible spiritual power allowed Changfeng to condense the whole body's fist intent in his hands, like a physical entity. In just a moment, he broke through the red-clothed man's water sword intent defense and blasted into his body. In an instant, the red-clothed man turned into fragments and disappeared. Changfeng released the breath of rock and sat on the ground with a buttock, his whole body in pain. When he concentrated his fist in his hands and fought to the death, he lost the protection of his fist. Although he killed the man in red in an instant, he was also invaded by the sword of water. At this time, his whole body was like 1,000 swords piercing his heart. At this time, the purple air in the star tower reappeared and poured into Changfeng's body. The sword energy in his body was quickly eliminated, and the injuries on his body were also quickly healed. In a cup of tea, his spirit and energy were restored to the peak. What a magical star tower! Changfeng exclaimed. This battle can be said to be extremely dangerous. In terms of strength, Changfeng cannot compare with the red-clothed man who has comprehended the sword intent. If the enemy transformed by the star tower is not a bit rigid and does not know how to adapt, he will definitely lose, not to mention anything else. As long as the red-clothed man flies in the air and keeps releasing sword energy at Changfeng on the ground, Changfeng, who now has no flying ability, will definitely not be able to hold on for too long. This kid is so decisive that he actually won. I don't know where he got his combat skills from. I'd believe him even if you said he was 160 years old. A powerful person sighed. Well, Chi's Star Tower challenge should be over. After all the assessments are over, this group of newcomers will join our Huangting sect. I just noticed that in addition to Changfeng, there are many good seedlings, and there are more than a dozen geniuses at the Tianjiao level. The fiery body has been reserved by the Taoist priest. Don't compete with me when the time comes. The fiery Taoist priest said hurriedly. Okay, I won't compete with you. I don't know why you have so many disciples. The powerful people complained. Sure enough, Changfeng quickly left the Star Tower. Just now, the Star Tower transformed into 5 masters who had comprehended the artistic conception and killed Changfeng. In just one round, he was swept out of the Star Tower. Touching his nose, Changfeng was a little helpless. There was no way. The gap was too big. He might not be able to beat one, let alone 5 people working together. When Changfeng came to the test group, he found that more than half of them had already come out, and a small number of them were still insisting in the Star Tower. Chi Dao brother, you are really a hidden talent. You are a peerless genius, but it is rare to see you in hundreds of years. Congratulations to Brother Chi. After the assessment, Brother will surely become a direct disciple of Huangting sect. It is really a cause for celebration. When everyone saw Changfeng coming out of the Star Tower, they all came forward to congratulate him. You are too polite. After joining Huangting sect, we are all family members. We need to encourage each other on the road of cultivation. Changfeng hurriedly returned the greeting. you are neither arrogant nor impatient. With such a temperament and talent, you will have a bright future in the future. Seeing this scene, the powerful people couldn't help but feel emotional. After another half an hour, all the examinees came out of the Star Tower, and the third level of the assessment was officially over. The towering Star Tower disappeared in an instant. I declare that the third level of the assessment is over. Congratulations to everyone for joining Huangting's sect. What is about to happen is the apprenticeship phase. Those who are selected by the great power in the sect and accepted as disciples can be inner disciples or direct disciples. Those who are not selected can choose the main peak to join and become outer disciples of that peak. Lu Changqing said loudly. All the examinees present began to feel uneasy. After all, everyone hopes to be selected by the great power and accepted as a disciple, although after becoming an outer disciple, you can also be promoted to an inner disciple or even a true disciple through hard work, but who doesn't want to have a higher starting point? Ji Yuntian, I am the master of Haoyang Peak. You are extremely talented and have a formless body. Are you willing to take me as your master and become an inner disciple? A peak master level great power said. Disciple is willing. Ji Yuntian, the seventh prince of the Haomiao dynasty, was very excited and kowtowed quickly. Shangwan Fei, I am the guardian of Shenzhen Peak, majoring in swordsmanship. Are you willing to take me as your master and become an inner disciple? A guardian-level master asked. Disciple is willing to meet master. Shangwan Fei hurriedly thanked him. Soon, more than a dozen geniuses present were accepted as disciples by the peak master elders. Among them, Morong Qing was the genius with the fiery body, and became a disciple of the fiery master of the five elements peak. Changfeng was not in a hurry to see that no master wanted to accept him as a disciple, but stood aside and watched quietly. Chapter 16. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing Changfeng's calm performance, the great men's evaluation of him in their hearts went up to a higher level. Okay, Chi boy, I won't tease you anymore. As a peerless genius, Huangting's sect gives you a privilege. You can choose one of us to be your master, and no matter who you choose, you will enjoy the treatment of a true disciple. Lu Changqing said with a smile. When everyone heard this, they were very envious. You know, in the previous session of accepting disciples and paying homage to the master, no true disciple appeared. It seems that Changfeng is the only true disciple in our class, but as a peerless genius, he deserves the title. The examiners thought to themselves. Changfeng was very excited, but he didn't show it. He stepped forward, bowed to the masters, and said, I am so lucky to be able to worship you as my teacher. How dare I be picky? However, I am obsessed with boxing and am more interested in body training. I hope to worship a senior who specializes in boxing as my teacher. Hearing this, the masters were slightly stunned and involuntarily cast their eyes on Changfeng, the master of Tianjiao Peak. There are 3 masters who specialize in boxing in Huangting's sect, 2 of whom did not come this time. What is even more surprising is that Changfeng, who never accepts disciples on weekdays, appeared at the entrance examination site for some reason this time. As for those elders and guardians who specialize in boxing, how dare they compete with the masters for disciples? This guy really got a big bargain. A master secretly said in his heart, ha ha ha, Changfeng, I can tell at a glance that you are a genius in boxing. I am Changfeng, the leader of Tianjiao Peak, and I specialize in boxing. Would you like to become my disciple? After hearing what Changfeng said, Changfeng was slightly stunned, and he couldn't help but be overjoyed and said to him with a smile. After saying that, he did not forget to glare at the elders and guardians who specialized in boxing, with threats in his eyes. Some elders who wanted to say something smiled bitterly and stopped talking. Disciple is willing to meet the master. Changfeng said seriously and bowed to Changfeng. In the jade slip given by Lu Changqing, there is an introduction to Changfeng, the leader of Tianjiao Peak. Changfeng, with the cultivation level of Mahayana, specializes in boxing. In terms of boxing alone, he can rank among the top 3 in Huangting's sect. He is generous and free-spirited by nature, and has never accepted any disciples before. Changfeng was quite surprised to become Changfeng's disciple. On the one hand, being able to become the peak master's disciple is better than becoming a disciple of an elder. On the other hand, Changfeng had never accepted a disciple before, and as his eldest disciple, he should be more valued. Okay, from today on, you are my direct disciple. Changfeng said with a happy smile, seeing that the matter was settled. The great masters no longer thought about it and congratulated Changfeng. Changfeng, you must give me at least 10 bottles of your treasured fairy wine. If I hadn't asked you to come and see it, how could you have received such a good disciple? Liehua said sourly. Okay, I'll send it to you when the time comes, ha. Changfeng agreed, which made Liehua a little regretful, thinking that he was going to miss out. The great masters took the newly accepted disciples back to their main peak. Those outer disciples who were not accepted as disciples by the great masters were taken away by Lu Changqing and came to the welcoming pavilion to choose the main peak they wanted to join. The welcome pavilion is where each main peak recruits outer disciples after each entrance examination. Many senior brothers and sisters from the main peaks have been waiting here for a long time. When the newcomers arrive, they actively introduce the advantages of their main peaks to everyone. It seems very similar to the recruitment of new members in the university clubs in Changfeng's previous life. Changfeng was also taken to Tianquan Peak by Changfeng. In order to take Changfeng to the bottom road, Master Changfeng did not use the teleportation magic, but flew all the way and introduced the humanities and geography of Huangting sect to Changfeng. This area belongs to Tianjin Peak. Tianjin Peak is quite special. The main thing to cultivate is the mind power. The mind power is derived from the spiritual power. It is useless in the early stage and has no combat power. When you cultivate it to a deep level, you can influence the real world with a thought. The top masters who mainly cultivate the mind power are said to be able to speak and create things in the void. Those who understand the mind power have a wide attack range and can kill people invisibly. They can be said to be a magic weapon for mowing grass. But unfortunately, there are very few people who can cultivate the mind power, and there are even fewer who have achieved success, so Tianjin Peak is now a bit lacking. Changfeng introduced to Changfeng. Hearing these words, Changfeng's face did not change, but his mind was full of thoughts. There is such a magical power, using mental power to influence the real world. It sounds very suitable for me. With the Xianwu simulator, my mental power and artistic conception will definitely improve quickly. This mental power can transform my mental power into combat power. The speaker is unintentional, but the listener is intentional. Changfeng decided that if there is a chance in the future, he would practice mental power. In front is Tianjiao Peak. You also know the Peak Master. He is the chief examiner of your assessment this time, Lu Changqing. The cultivation in Tianjiao Peak is more diverse. There are all kinds of main cultivations, and the Peak Master Lu Changqing is also a genius, and he has only been the Peak Master for a few years. Every time he passed a main peak, Changfeng would explain it to Changfeng. It seems that after accepting a disciple for the first time, he has aroused his desire to teach. The 5 Elements Peak is in front. After the 5 Elements Peak, we will reach our Tianquan Peak. The contemporary 5 Elements Peak is dominated by the fire system, supplemented by gold, wood, water and earth. The Peak Master, Liehua Laodao, has a good personal relationship with me. Whenever the Peak Master of the 5 Elements Peak changes, the contemporary leaders of the 5 Elements will fight. The winner can take over the position of the Peak Master, and the leaders of the other 4 elements will be deputies. Last time, Liehua Laodao won. While speaking, Changfeng had already taken Changfeng through the territory of the 5 Elements Peak. We are here. This is your future cultivation place, Tianquan Peak. Fist is also power, so we at Tianquan Peak mainly practice fist techniques. As my only direct disciple, you are the current senior brother of Tianquan Peak. You must work harder in the future. Changfeng said. Changfeng was stunned. Senior brother of Tianquan Peak. He made such a big move right at the beginning. In an instant, Changfeng had already imagined several big dramas in his mind. His cultivation was low, and he was in a high position right at the beginning, which would definitely affect the interests of other fellow disciples. After all, there are still many inner disciples accepted by the elders and guardians at Tianquan Peak, and they will definitely have conflicts with him at that time, but I don't want to cause trouble, which doesn't mean I'm afraid of trouble. If anyone dares to bully me, I will not be soft-hearted. Changfeng thought, Master, I don't know what senior brother means. Senior brother means that among all the disciples of Tianquan Peak, you have the highest status. You also need to help me manage the disciples on weekdays. You have the right to punish other disciples, and you need to take the lead when the disciples encounter problems. In short, you are the face of our Tianquan Peak disciples. Qin Feng said. After hearing this, Changfeng's head became even bigger. Master, my realm is low now, how can I take on such an important task? Please take back your order. I said you can do it, and you can do it. It's okay if you didn't have a disciple before, but now you have one. My disciple, Qin Feng, must be the senior brother of Tianquan Peak, otherwise where would I put my face? Qin Feng said indifferently, Don't worry, it's not as difficult as you think, you have your master to support you. Changfeng had no choice but to agree. Chapter 17. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The main peaks of Huangting sect are not just a mountain, but a mountain range. All the inner disciples, true disciples, elders, and guardians of Tianquan Peak have their own independent mountains as their dojo. The outer disciples do not have their own independent dojo, but have a special mountain for them to live and practice, in the absence of elders and guardians to accept disciples. Outer disciples who have reached the level of Grandmaster in martial arts and the level of Golden Core in immortal cultivation can automatically become inner disciples and enjoy the benefits of inner disciples. Qin Feng pointed to a mountain in the distance and said to Changfeng, Changfeng, this will be your dojo in the future. You can practice here on weekdays. This mountain is where I practiced before I became the master of the peak. It is not far from the main peak. It is convenient for you to find me if you have something to do. This is the control token of this mountain formation. Here it is. After that, he threw a white token to Changfeng. After dripping blood, this token can recognize its master. You can try it now. Hearing this, Changfeng forced out a drop of blood and dripped it on the token. The token turned into a white light and flew into Changfeng's body. At this time, he could clearly feel the existence of the large formation in the distant mountains and could control it with mental power. It's amazing. Changfeng said in his heart. At this time, Qin Feng took out a small golden bell and shook it. The melodious bell sounded in the Tianquan Peak area, ringing 3 times in a row. This is the Peak Master's golden bell. When the bell rings 3 times, all disciples who are still in Tianquan Peak and have not been in seclusion must come to the main peak and follow the instructions of the Peak Master. Qin Feng explained. After the bell rang, I saw figures flying towards the main peak. On each peak, some fast and some slow, and some who could not fly were taken by their brothers and sisters. Why is the Peak Master's golden bell ringing? This is not common. The last time the golden bell rang was decades ago when the Tianjian Pavilion's genius came to our Huangting sect to compete and exchange. Really? This is the first time I've seen the Peak Master's golden bell. If it weren't for the formation's reminder, I wouldn't know what this bell means. Disciples who met on the road exchanged ideas. I wonder why the Peak Master called all of us disciples over this time. Is there another exchange? Haven't you been beaten? It shouldn't be. Today is the day of the entrance examination once every 10 years. I don't know if it has anything to do with this matter. Could it be that the Peak Master accepted a disciple this time? How is it possible? With the Peak Master's vision, what kind of genius can catch his eye? I have never heard that the Peak Master has accepted a disciple before, otherwise how could the position of our Tianquan Peak senior brother be vacant for so many years? It's hard to say. What if some peerless genius appears and happens to practice boxing? You are really good at joking, but if that's true, senior brother Lu will be happy. Haha, that's true. Okay, don't guess too much, we will know when we get to the main peak. Similar exchanges happen from time to time on the road. In the time it took to stick an incense stick, all the disciples of Tianquan Peak gathered on the main peak of Tianquan Peak. Inner disciples were in front, and outer disciples were behind. with hundreds of people, since Qin Feng has never accepted any disciples, there are no true disciples in Tianquan Peak. Under normal circumstances, only the peak master can accept true disciples. Unless a peerless genius like Changfeng worships the elders as his master, the elders and guardians can only accept inner disciples. Of course, the peak master can also accept inner disciples. The peak masters of other peaks usually accept several inner disciples. There are some who are afraid of trouble like Qin Feng and do not accept any, but it is very rare. After the disciples arrived, they saw the peak master standing in the air, followed by a young man who was not yet in the innate realm, and they had some guesses in their hearts. The leading disciple had a deep joy in his eyes, seeing that most of the disciples had arrived. Qin Feng took Changfeng down from the air. Meet the peak master. The disciples saluted. Okay, no need to be polite. I called you here to announce something. I have accepted a disciple. From today on, he is the current senior brother of Tianquan Peak. Qin Feng pointed at Changfeng and said, I respectfully follow the order of the peak master and meet you, senior brother. Hundreds of disciples below saluted. Then Qin Feng motioned Changfeng to come forward and say a few words. Changfeng smiled bitterly and stepped forward. Hello, fellow disciples. I am Changfeng. I am very nervous to take on this important task today. I will need your help in the future. Please forgive me if there is anything inappropriate. The young disciple in the lead heard Changfeng's words and said with a smile on his face, Senior brother, you are joking. We will definitely help you. Seeing this, everyone also responded. Seeing this, Qin Feng nodded with satisfaction, waved his hand, and several hundreds of streams of light sank into the arms of the disciples. I accept disciples, and these pills are given to you for good luck. Well, there is nothing else to do, you can return on your own. After saying that, he disappeared with Changfeng. After Master Qin Feng left, the disciples gradually became active. Congratulations, senior brother Lu, good news from heaven. An inner disciple smiled at the young man in the lead. That's true. I, Lu, have been temporarily taking over the position of senior brother of Tianquan Peak for so many years, and from today I am finally free. The young man smiled. This person is called Lu Chuan, an inner disciple accepted by the great elder of Tianquan Peak, Gu Tianchang. He is a martial arts celestial being and a celestial infant. He has been temporarily taking over the position of senior brother of Tianquan Peak for all these years. Over the years, I have asked my master to refuse this task several times, but he never refused. Every time, he said, let me do it first. When other peak's disciples come to challenge, the sect holds a disciple meeting, and the peak's disciples have conflicts. I am the one who comes forward. Do I want to take care of these? No. In terms of resources, my master has only me as a disciple, and I don't lack them. After handing over the task of the eldest brother to Brother Qi, I can go into seclusion for a long time, comprehend the boxing method, and then go out for some experience. Lu Chuan thought happily. For so many years, he has never wanted to do the task of acting as the eldest brother. Every time he came forward to connect with other main peaks, they came as direct disciples, and he, an inner disciple, was naturally inferior. The peak master finally got it and knew to accept disciples. Lu Chuan sighed. Brother Qi looks ordinary, and I don't know why the peak master accepted him as a direct disciple. Suddenly, a disciple asked in confusion, indeed, the peak master has not even accepted inner disciples for so many years. I wonder what is so outstanding about senior brother Qi that he can be appreciated by the peak master. Don't worry, I'll send a message to master and ask him if he knows the situation. Lu Chuan said. After saying that, his mind moved slightly, and he sent a message to Gu Tianchang, the elder of Tianquan Peak, through the protective formation. Not long after, Gu Tianchang replied him. After reading it, Lu Chuan was shocked and his eyes widened. What's wrong, senior brother Lu? A disciple asked in confusion. It turned out to be a peerless genius. At the age of 16, he comprehended the meaning of crushing fists and killed a master who comprehended the meaning of swords in the Star Tower. After calming down, Lu Chuan said, What? A peerless genius who comprehended the meaning of fists at the age of 16. The disciples were incredible. After a while, the news that Changfeng was a peerless genius spread among the disciples, and the disciples of Tianquan Peak basically recognized Changfeng. This senior brother is absolutely extremely talented. Chapter 18. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Qin Feng took Changfeng away from the main peak of Tianquan Peak, he moved directly to the outside of Fengtian Palace. Changfeng felt a flash in front of his eyes, and the surroundings changed into a different world. The means of the powerful are so terrifying. Changfeng couldn't help but sigh in his heart, and he had a deep yearning. Qin Feng saw Changfeng's face full of amazement, as if he knew what he was thinking, and explained with a smile, Changfeng, this is the magical power of moving. When you reach the realm of fusion, you can master it initially. After saying that, without waiting for Changfeng to continue asking questions, he took him directly to the door of the main hall. The main hall was magnificent, and occupied an unknown area. There was a plaque hanging above the door of the hall, with 3 big characters, Fengtian Palace, written on it. The Fengtian Hall is a place to worship the founder and ancestors of our Huangting sect. When the inner disciples and true disciples enter the sect, the master will lead them to worship here. After Qin Feng finished speaking, he took out a token and injected magic power into it, and the door of the Fengtian Hall opened. Qin Feng strode in with Changfeng. Just after entering the door, there was a huge screen. After the screen, there was an old man in a white robe who closed his eyes and rested his mind. His whole body was restrained and his depth could not be seen. Sensing someone coming, the old man in the white robe opened his eyes and looked at Qin Feng and Changfeng. Hello, Uncle Hua, I didn't expect it was your turn. Qin Feng bowed to the old man in the white robe. You didn't accept disciples before, so why would you think of Fengtian Hall? It's my turn to be on duty for 100 years, and I can go back to the Holy Land for rotation in another 60 years. The old man in the white robe said unhappily. Qin Feng smiled awkwardly, but did not answer. Instead, he turned to Changfeng and said, This is Uncle Hua, the Grand Elder of our Huangting sect. Why don't you come forward to greet him? Greetings to the Grand Master, Changfeng, and polite. Changfeng stepped forward and saluted. I heard that you, Qin Feng, just accepted a peerless genius disciple. Not bad, not bad. It seems that Tianquan Peak has a successor. The Grand Elder surnamed Hua looked at Changfeng and said with satisfaction, just now, many peak masters and elders brought their newly accepted inner disciples to Fengtian Hall. Not long after they left, Changfeng was slightly delayed because he went to Tianquan Peak. The Grand Elder heard other great men talk about Changfeng, and learned the specific information from the protective formation, and he admired him very much. You call me Grandmaster, so I have to give you a gift. This is a drop of Kuei-Nyo's blood, which is very beneficial for body training. A white bottle turned into a stream of light and went into Changfeng's arms. Why don't you thank Uncle Hua quickly? This Kuei-Nyo's blood is a good treasure. Qin Feng said with a smile, thank you Grandmaster for the gift. Changfeng thanked him hurriedly, okay, no need to be polite. Come in quickly. After paying homage to the Grandmaster, don't forget to come to me to get the token of the true disciple. The Supreme Elder waved his hand and said, entering the hall, there is a statue of a middle-aged Taoist in the middle, holding a long sword, wearing a purple and gold Taoist robe, with a handsome figure and a strange appearance. This is the founder of the Huangting sect. Around are the tablets of the great men of the Huangting sect who have ascended to the upper realm or have died in the past. Qin Feng brought Changfeng to the statue. Our Huangting sect was founded by the incarnation of a great power from the upper realm when he traveled to the lower realm. We have 1,000 connections with the upper realm. I heard that the backer of our Huangting sect is also a top force in the upper realm. The ancestor's name is Yun Zhongzi. You go forward to pay homage. Qin Feng said, motioning Changfeng to go forward. At this time, Changfeng's heart was in turmoil, but he did not show it. He walked forward steadily, lit 3 incense sticks, and performed the 3 9 bow ceremony. Changfeng completed the worship. Yun Zhongzi, is it really the great power I knew in my previous life? No way, I won't come to a subordinate world of the prehistoric world. Changfeng thought to himself, it may also be a simple coincidence of names. My realm is low now, so there is no need to consider so much. When I become stronger in the future, I will naturally know. After the worship, Changfeng took him out of the hall. Before leaving, the white-robed Supreme Elder handed the true disciple token to Changfeng. After dripping blood to acknowledge the master, you can use the sect protection formation normally. The sect protection formation covers Huangting's sect and the surrounding area of billions of miles. It is the first treasure of our sect. When the sect master activates it, even true immortals can be killed. It is the support of our Huangting sect standing on the Xianwu continent for countless years. The sect protection formation was set up by the founder himself. There are formation spirits inside, and the formation has many functions. You need to explore it yourself to transmit messages, exchange treasures, check information, pass on skills, etc. Changfeng said to Changfeng. After hearing this, Changfeng forced out a drop of blood and fell on the token of the true disciple. In an instant, he felt that he could control the token, and a message was transmitted to his brain. True disciple, acquired realm, you can get 1,000 spirit stones and 1,000 exchange points as rewards every month. In the Xiantian realm, you can get 10,000 spirit stones and 10,000 exchange points as rewards every month. Grandmaster realm, you can get 50,000 spirit stones and 50,000 exchange points as rewards every month. Grandmaster realm, you can get 100,000 spirit stones and 100,000 exchange points as rewards every month. The rewards for other realms are not known yet. Spirit stones are used for daily expenses, and exchange points can be exchanged for the treasures you need in the sect treasury. Direct disciples can learn 3 skills or magical powers for free, regardless of level. If you want to continue learning, you need to spend exchange points to exchange. With the token of the true disciple, Huangting sect can also know the life and death status of the disciple, and a great man will help when necessary. The treatment of the true disciple is really good. Changfeng was very happy. In just 1 month, I jumped from an ordinary villager in a mortal village to a true disciple of Huangting sect. I couldn't imagine it before. This Xianwu simulation system is really a good thing. After breaking through the innate realm, Changfeng plans to retreat and simulate it. However, what I need most now is to choose a martial arts method. My barbarian bull fist is finally going to be upgraded. As if sensing what Changfeng was thinking, Changfeng suddenly said, "That Changfeng, direct disciples have the benefit of choosing 3 martial arts methods for free. You must seize this opportunity. You must choose the top martial arts inherited by the sect, and you must take into account both Xianwu and Xianwu. If you miss this opportunity, even if you are a direct disciple, it will be extremely difficult to obtain those top martial arts. Let's go, the master will personally guide you to choose. Let's go back to Tianquan Peak first." After Changfeng finished speaking, he waved his sleeves, and Changfeng felt a flash in front of his eyes, and then he came to a quiet room. This is the main peak of Tianquan Peak, where my master often goes into seclusion, so there is no need to disturb him. Changfeng explained, "Calm down, and connect your spiritual power to the sect protection formation through the true disciple token." Changfeng taught Changfeng how to use the sect protection formation. Soon, Changfeng felt that his spiritual power came to a magical space and transformed into his own appearance. His physical body in the real world was still able to move freely, and it seemed that 2 perspectives appeared in front of him. This novel experience had never been experienced before. The place where your spiritual power is now is the virtual space of your sect protection formation. No one else can enter without permission. I will add your contact information and apply to enter your virtual space. After saying that, Changfeng felt a message coming. Tianquan Peak Master Changfeng applies to add you as a contact. Do you agree? Changfeng quickly agreed, and then another application came. Tianquan Peak Master Changfeng applies to enter your virtual space. Do you agree? After agreeing, Changfeng's figure appeared in Changfeng's space. Chapter 19. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Changfeng felt a strong sense of unreality. How could this immortal martial world be different from what he imagined? Compared with the social software and the guardian formation in his previous life, they were all weak. After calming down, Changfeng quickly accepted the reality. How is it? Amazing, isn't it? I thought about the first time I connected to the Guardian formation, and I had the same reaction. Changfeng said. Under Changfeng's guidance, Changfeng's mind moved slightly, and a light curtain appeared in the virtual space, showing the treasures that can be exchanged with exchange points. Choose to enter the practice interface, and the practice inherited by the Huangting sect appears in front of you. Huangting Sutra. It is said that it was created by the Taoist ancestor. Frequent recitation of the Huangting Sutra can understand the Great Way and strengthen the spirit. It is the supreme practice of cultivating the mind, but few people have gained anything. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. 6 Extreme Immortal Sutra, the top immortal practice that can be cultivated to ascension. When cultivated to a deep level, 6 immortal spirit phantoms can be summoned to assist oneself in fighting. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. Eternal Green Art, a top immortal art that can be cultivated to the level of ascension. Every breakthrough in realm can greatly extend lifespan, far exceeding the same level of cultivators. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. Flying Immortal Art, a top immortal art that can be cultivated to the level of ascension. It is more suitable for women to practice. If you practice it deeply, you can generate the power of flying immortals, which helps to survive the ascension robbery. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. Dari Burning Heaven Sutra, a top immortal art that can be cultivated to the level of ascension. It is a holy art of fighting. There is the power of the sun in every move. There are few opponents of the same level. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. Thunder Immortal Body, a top martial arts art that uses the power of heavenly thunder to temper the body. It is cultivated to the level of great success and is not afraid of the power of heavenly robbery. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. Shentian Holy Body, top-level martial arts technique, the orthodox path of body refining martial arts, absorbing the treasures of heaven and earth, extracting the essence of the sun and the moon, and cultivating to perfection. You can be invulnerable to all kinds of attacks, and your body is difficult to destroy. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. Wanbao Refining Body Ju, top-level martial arts technique, refine your own body as a magic weapon, cultivate to perfection, and you can fight against immortal weapons with your bare hands. 10 million exchange points plus 1 gold medal can be exchanged. At the front, a series of top immortal martial arts techniques were listed in front of the two. Just reading the introduction made Changfeng very excited. The top-level skills cannot be exchanged with exchange points alone, but also require a gold medal. The gold medal can only be obtained when you make great contributions to the sect. Disciple, now you know what it means to choose 3 skills and magical powers for free. Master suggests that you choose 1 top-level skill from each of the martial arts and immortal ways, and then choose a great magical power or keep it for backup in the remaining chance. Changfeng suggested. Master, can you tell me about the Huangting Sutra? After thinking for a moment, Changfeng said respectfully to Changfeng, the Huangting Sutra. Not many people choose this skill. It is better to say that it is a scroll of scriptures than a skill. There is no specific method of cultivation in it. Except for those who focus on the mind power in Tianjin Peak, basically no one will choose this skill. Changfeng said patiently, those who choose Huangting Sutra have gained very little. It is said that Huangting Sutra needs to be recited frequently, and only when the opportunity comes can one gain some insights. I feel that this thing is as mysterious as mental power. I feel that I still have some talent in mental power, and I want to give it a try. Even if I don't gain much, it will not affect my choice of Xianwu and Dao techniques. Changfeng said. Changfeng thought about it and felt that what Changfeng said made some sense. If he chose the great supernatural power for the 3rd chance, he would not be able to practice it at his current level. If he chose the Huangting Sutra, if he gained something, he would make a profit. After all, it was passed down by the legendary Taoist ancestor, and the level of the technique is definitely the highest in the sect. Moreover, the Huangting sect was named after this sutra, and its origin is definitely not small, so, Changfeng nodded and agreed with Changfeng's idea. for martial arts, I suggest you choose Xiantian Holy Body. You are originally a congenital body, which is quite compatible with Xiantian Holy Body. Moreover, this method takes the path of being upright and dignified, which is very suitable for people like us who practice boxing. It is said that Xiantian Holy Body is related to a supreme method in the upper realm. I practice Xiantian Holy Body, which can also help you avoid many detours. Changfeng said. After hearing this, Changfeng's heart moved slightly. The supreme method in the upper realm, from the name, is it the legendary method? Without much hesitation, Changfeng chose Xiantian Holy Body as his martial arts method. As for the immortal method, the master and apprentice discussed it and chose the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra. This method has the strongest combat power, but it needs to be felt that it is quite difficult to comprehend the power of the sun and enter and advance. Changfeng is very confident about the skills that need to be comprehended. After all, he has the immortal martial arts simulation system in hand, and he has much more time to comprehend than others. My disciple, remember, both martial arts and immortal ways must be taken seriously. On the road of cultivation, the fusion realm is a major hurdle. Only those who practice both martial arts and immortals have the hope of entering the fusion realm. After entering the fusion realm, the immortals and martial arts have the same goal, and there will be no more realm differences. Martial arts are innate, master, grand master, celestial being, and land immortal. The immortal way is to refine chi, build foundation, golden elixir, primordial infant, and transform into spirit. Practicing martial arts and immortals together, the immortal way reaches the realm of transformation, and the martial arts reaches the realm of land immortals. Then there is a chance for the immortals and martial arts to be united and reach the fusion realm. The fusion realm can be called great power. Changfeng exhorted Changfeng. Those who practice only one path, if nothing unexpected happens, can only stop before the fusion realm. Changfeng then understood why Huangting's sect only recruited people who practiced both immortal and martial arts, and kept the instructions in mind. Choose to exchange for the Huangting Sutra, the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra, and the Xiantian Holy Body. After the master and disciple considered it, they finally made a choice. 3 dazzling crystals appeared out of thin air and floated in front of Changfeng. This is a top-level skill inheritance stone, which contains the true meaning of the skill. This level of skill cannot be carried by ordinary jade slips. These 3 inheritance stones will cause bloody storms in the outside world. Use your mental power to touch the inheritance stone, and you can understand the true meaning of the skill. As Changfeng's mental power touched the inheritance stone, a steady stream of dazzling starlight flowed into his transformed spiritual body. After half an hour, as the 3 inheritance stones were consumed, the skill inheritance ended. Changfeng felt that countless information was flowing in his brain, and his mental power was also consumed a lot. The inheritance of the skills is over. Disciple, you go back to the dojo and comprehend it well. If you have anything, contact me directly through the sect protection formation. Changfeng said with a smile, thank you, master. I will practice well and live up to your expectations. Changfeng said loudly with a firm look. With a thought, the two of them left the sect protection formation space and returned to the quiet room. At this time, a ring appeared in Changfeng's hand and was thrown to Changfeng, who subconsciously caught it. This is a storage ring, which can store various things. As usual, you can recognize the owner by dripping blood. There are the natural treasures needed for the first 3 levels of the Xiantian Saint Body and the things that the Master gave you to protect the way. You keep them well. Changfeng said. Changfeng was stunned. Just when he was about to say something, Changfeng waved his hand to interrupt him. Don't be polite. These things are nothing to me. Besides, if I let my new disciple go back empty-handed, other powerful people would definitely laugh their heads off. Master, I am grateful for your kindness. Changfeng said solemnly. Changfeng didn't say anything more. With a wave of his sleeves, Changfeng disappeared into the quiet room. Chapter 20. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Changfeng's eyes blurred, and he found that he had arrived at the entrance of the dojo. The dojo was on the top of the mountain, covered by a large formation, and it was foggy and unclear. Changfeng's mind moved, and the formation opened a hole. Stepping in, it was as if entering a new cave. The dojo was very large, covering an unknown area, and there was abundant spiritual energy inside. One breath made him feel light all over. After sensing the formation, Changfeng found that the dojo was divided into several areas, including a hall for receiving Taoist friends and guests, a quiet room for retreat and practice, a medicine garden for planting spiritual plants, a stable for raising spiritual beasts, a martial arts field for practicing magical skills, and so on. However, since no one has moved in for many years, each area has nothing except infrastructure and rich spiritual energy. It is worthy of being the dojo of a true disciple. The spiritual energy is sufficient and it has a good appearance. Changfeng was very satisfied. This will be my territory from now on. When I have more money, I will definitely tidy it up. Otherwise, if a Taoist friend comes to visit and sees that my place is bare, I will lose face. Changfeng thought to himself. Suddenly, Changfeng received a message from the sect protection formation. It turned out that this peak had a new owner, and the Taoist master needed to give it a name and enter it into the sect protection formation to facilitate fellow disciples to visit. Changfeng thought for a moment and decided to name it the Daowen Peak. The name is repeated, please rename it. Changfeng was a little speechless. He couldn't give it the same name, so he didn't say it earlier. After thinking about it, he recalled some memories of his previous life, and finally named it Xiaozhu Peak. After the naming was over, Changfeng came to the retreat room, where there was a spirit gathering formation. It's time to retreat and comprehend the skills and break through the realm. Changfeng opened the spirit gathering formation, sat on the cushion, and began to retreat and practice. After taking out the storage ring given by the master and dripping blood to recognize the master, Changfeng's spiritual power probed into it. The dazzling array of natural treasures, elixirs and magic tools made Changfeng dazed. Master, you gave too much. Changfeng was very happy. Changfeng took out all the things in the storage ring and put them beside him. Natural treasures are needed for the first 3 levels of practicing Xiantian holy body, and there are hundreds of them. Changfeng is also practicing Xiantian holy body, so it is not surprising to have such a stock. Next to the natural treasures are 3 magic weapons, a jade plate and a pile of elixirs. Judging from the appearance, the 3 magic weapons are a pair of inner armor, a pair of wings and a pair of gloves. After dripping blood to recognize the master, Changfeng knew the information of the 3 magic weapons. Tianjiao, a low-grade magic weapon that can greatly increase the user's physical defense. Attacks below the Grandmaster or Jindan realm cannot break through the defense, and attacks below the Grandmaster or Jindan realm can also greatly weaken its power. Moyun Wings, a low-grade magic weapon. After being activated, light wings will grow on the back, greatly improving speed and flexibility. Enemies below the nascent soul realm are far behind. Tyrant Gloves, a low-grade magic weapon. When integrated into the fists, it can greatly increase the power of boxing and boxing intent. Low-grade magic weapons are the highest-level magic weapons that Changfeng can activate now. Magical instruments, magic treasures, spiritual treasures, and Taoist instruments, each of which is divided into 3 major grades, upper, middle, and lower. Generally, the spiritual power of cultivators in the Qi refining and foundation building stages can only activate magic instruments. Only the spiritual power of the Jindan and nascent soul realms can use magic weapons. Only the spiritual power of the Huashan and Hedi realms can activate spiritual instruments. Taoist instruments can only be used with the spiritual power of the crossing tribulation and Mahayana stages. As for higher-level immortal weapons, there are spirits in them, which have great power without activation. In Huangting's sect, immortal weapons are also treasures of the sect, which are impossible for ordinary great powers to possess. Changfeng's current mental strength has almost reached the early stage of the Golden Core realm, the early stage of the Grandmaster. The lower-grade magic weapons are already the limit of what can be used. Since Changfeng has not yet set foot on the immortal path, there is no spiritual energy in his body, so to use these magic weapons, he needs to consume spiritual stones to supply spiritual energy. The 3 magic weapons are all very suitable for Changfeng. 1 increases defense, 1 increases escape speed, and 1 increases the power of boxing. By activating these magic weapons, Changfeng is confident that he can fight the Grandmaster. After the 3 magic weapons dripped blood to recognize their master, they turned into streams of light and sank into Changfeng's body. Changfeng found that the inner armor-type magic weapon is special. It is a passive magic weapon that does not require spiritual power to be supplied all the time. As long as the mental power is qualified, it can play the role of increasing defense. Picking up the jade token next to the magic weapon, a message came into his mind. Disciple, this jade token contains the breath of the master and an attack. Do not activate it unless it is in a dangerous situation. The message was left by Changfeng. The jade token directly sank into Changfeng's body and floated in the sea of consciousness. As for the pile of pills, Changfeng took a look. There were various types, such as increasing cultivation, healing injuries, keeping life, detoxification, etc. According to the introduction, all of them are top-grade elixirs. Changfeng was very touched. Changfeng was really thoughtful for him. Natural materials and treasures increased Changfeng's cultivation. 3 magic weapons improved his strength and ability. The jade card gave him a life-saving trump card. Various elixirs were used to deal with different situations, wealth, dharma, companions and land. Changfeng now had everything. He was confident about his future practice. Changfeng planned to comprehend the immortal way first, step into the Qi refining realm, and then practice the Xiantian holy body to break through to the Xiantian realm. With his eyes closed and his 5 hearts facing the sky, the Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra emerged in Changfeng's sea of consciousness. The Great Sun Burning Heaven Sutra has 9 levels, corresponding to the 9 cultivation realms of Qi refining, foundation building, golden elixir, yuanying, transformation, combination, crossing the tribulation, Mahayana, and ascension. Once you get started with the sutra, you can enter the Qi refining period. Changfeng felt the rich spiritual energy around him when he practiced the methods in the sutra. Soon, he was able to draw the Qi into his body, and the spiritual energy circulated in his body according to the route in the scripture. In half an incense stick of time, the spiritual energy had run a big circle. The powerful and condensed mental power and strong body made Changfeng's progress on the road to immortality very fast. After about half an hour, he was already able to skillfully control the spiritual energy. I have reached the first level of Qi refining, and I have officially entered the road to immortality. Changfeng thought, continuing to practice. The rich spiritual energy in the dojo and the increase in the spirit gathering array allowed Changfeng to practice at a speed far exceeding the outside world. It only took 1 day to reach the 5th level of Qi refining. Exhaling a breath of turbid air, Changfeng stopped practicing the Great Sun Burning Heaven scripture. I can practice to the 5th level of Qi refining in 1 breath because of my accumulation of experience. Although I can continue to practice and break through, haste makes waste. Too fast progress will make my foundation unstable. I have entered the immortal way and reached the middle stage of Qi refining. It is time to practice Xiantian holy body and enter the innate realm. Changfeng thought, with his eyes closed. He felt the Xiantian holy body technique in his sea of consciousness. Xiantian holy body has a total of 10 levels. If the first level is successfully practiced, you will have the peak of the acquired martial arts. After the second level is completed, the martial arts can reach the peak of the innate. After the 10th level is completed, the physical body can even have the combat power of a true immortal. Changfeng's martial arts has reached the peak of the acquired realm. With the bonus of the innate body, it is not difficult to practice the first level of Xiantian holy body. He took out the natural treasures given by his master, and the blood and qi in his body circulated according to the method provided by Xiantian holy body. Those natural treasures were magically refined and integrated into Changfeng's body. Gradually, the qi and blood in Changfeng's body became thicker and thicker. His bones and tendons creaked, and his body, which was previously tempered by the practice of the barbarian bull fist, was gradually being transformed. A hint of gold gradually emerged in his blood, which was as thick as lead and mercury.